Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Alright, so this week up on the Pop Socket, we have the account progress, and it's funny because on my little docket spreadsheet that talks about this week's topics, it says account progress LOL because
You'll
don't,
see.
I don't think either of us have really been playing too much, but we'll see. And then we're going to be going right into the Tomb reward updates.
Oh.
So a little bit of updates there. It's actually pretty cool and pretty intriguing. So it's nice to see. We'll definitely be going over that.
Awesome.
And then we have the regular update that we're going to be taking a look at as well, which also does have some nice changes that I kind of wasn't expecting to see. And then we'll be going right into, of course, as always, ending with a Q&A. And there was a little bit of a Q&A with the mods this week, kind of as always. And I thought it'd be kind of a good idea to combine our Q&As that we have with a little bit of the questions that were asked to the mods.
Oh, cool. That sounds good.
Yeah, so we'll be finishing with that. But
Perfect.
before any of this, Michelle, how's it going?
Pretty well, I would say.
Nice. Tell me.
So I have not as much LOL. I feel like I've been playing on my account a little bit more because
No, for sure.
Streaming.
Yeah, for sure.
But I've been kind of just like working on doing Slayer and still doing my really roundabout way of trying to get to Skatizo and get the claw in like the pet too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm officially dry on getting the claw.
Really?
I was already technically dry because it's 1 out of 25, and now I have like 28 kills.
Oh,
I've done
okay.
like 3 this week.
I didn't know
and
you got
still
so many
haven't gotten it.
kills.
Yeah, I know. But that's kind of annoying. I hope I get it soon. And I like keep waiting purposely till I stream, and I just know I'm like, oh, I tried it not on stream. I better get it immediately.
You could just what's it called? You could like try and farm the totems off stream, and then be like, oh, I just found 10 totem pieces. I might as well do
That's
them
what I
all
was
on
trying
stream.
to do the other day, but it is not fast still.
No, of course.
I didn't get any totem pieces the other day, and I was AFKing like all day.
I think unless you're like bursting, it's like not fast.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to spend time like bursting.
Yeah, man. Just thinking about that makes me want to go burst for a few hours.
To go get a bunch of totems?
No, just because of how fast it is.
Just for fun?
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, just for fun.
You should. You could do it on your League's account. Choose your own task.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that's about it. Slayer. I've also done like a lot of clue scrolls. I realize I'm getting close-ish to the 300 hard. I think I'm like 220 or something. So that'll be nice. I'll get the Uri transform emote. I could turn into him and then turn back into myself.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's... Oh man, is that it?
I know. That's why I was like, I feel like we weren't playing too much this week.
Well, I did end up making the video on the birthday quest guide.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Which is funny because during the podcast, we're like, if it's not out, I'm not making it. But we did make it, but it came out after the podcast. So that was a lie.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet and you're like, oh, they didn't do it. I did. It just came out later than expected.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick video. So
yeah, it only took me like 25 minutes to record.
Yeah, it was really easy, but I think it was a pretty interesting, or it was a funny enough event.
Yeah, no,
it wasn't
I
like
like
a big deal, but it was cool.
Yeah, the reward for it is super cute. Just seeing every single meme I see of someone just skiing around bosses, I think is like the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it looks hilarious.
It's so good. They just look like they're speeding away.
Yeah.
I love it a lot. But is that really all I have?
I mean, yeah. Did you log in? You didn't log into Leagues, right?
Mm-mm.
All right. So yeah, you just did whatever's on your main.
Okay, well, Animal Crossing wise,
Oh, okay.
I redesigned my graveyard.
Yeah, so we both have reasons that we haven't been playing too much. This is hers.
Well, actually, not even really. I don't know. Because I started watching Love is Blind Japan. That really...
Oh, yeah, that just took up all your time.
Honestly, yeah. I had to read the subtitles. I couldn't do other stuff.
Oh, okay.
But Animal Crossing, like I think I've mentioned before, I like collecting the neighbors' pictures in that game because it kind of reminds me of like pets in Osrs.
Yeah.
So I have like over 30 pictures. And
how many NPCs are there in that game?
You can only have 10 neighbors at a time.
Okay, but how many pictures could you get?
Oh, I think there's like 400.
Oh, okay. So you're like not even close.
Yeah,
I thought there was
no.
like 100.
No, I have like 30 something pictures.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so you have 10 neighbors at a time, and then I get their pictures, and once they're asked to move or whatever, I'm like, yeah, move.
Yeah, so she like invites these people, like begs them to come to her island, and then as soon as they
Become their best friend.
she banishes them.
Yeah, literally.
And
it's hard to get rid of them sometimes.
Creates a grave for them.
Hey, I was getting to it. I have a graveyard, yeah. I have a graveyard where I have little tombstones with a stool next to it, and I put the pictures of all the moved out villagers along with black roses.
Yeah, this is it's sounds dark because it is.
Yeah.
And it also looks pretty dark. And
it looks cool though.
The thing is, it's also like really unrealistic because after like 60 of these pictures, you're gonna have no room on your island.
My island's gonna be one big graveyard.
I think even if you used all of your island's land for these graves, you wouldn't have enough for all the pictures.
I'll have to turn my home into crypts.
Oh, okay.
We'll see, because there's not room. I before was just gonna keep them in my house, but there's not enough room really right now. I mean, at least to make it look nice.
You could just do like a ton of stumps with the pictures on it.
And no to represent them.
Yeah, no gravestone.
Maybe I'll do that eventually, but for now, I reorganized it so I could fit more. I put them more into straight lines. Before it was just kind of randomized.
Yeah.
Which I thought looked nice, but it also wasn't practical for adding more in the future.
Yeah.
And then I also just like changed around some other stuff to make room for in the future when I have more pictures. I cleared out like a huge section. It's just empty now, and I'm like, all right, this is where I'll expand the graveyard.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a little dark, but it looks cool, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty official.
It looks very official. Yeah, so those are all of my game updates this week.
Huge, massive game updates.
Huge mass grave of my Animal Crossing neighbors.
Well, I mean, that's kind of more than I did, so.
Hey, that's something.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I didn't play a lot this week, honestly. Just games in general. I mean, I didn't play Osrs at all this week. Again, just because I've still been playing.
At all?
I don't think so. Well, actually, I logged in.
A little bit for me.
I did stream a little bit for you. So I did log in. I did some Temporos, which was, I mean, pretty chill. Temporos is always fun. It's just something I wanted to be able, because my character is still kind of broke. Just like in general, especially because I haven't been playing it a lot, and we still do bond giveaways. Shout out if you want to join our bond giveaways. We have them on Discord.
We need to hit up the winner.
We do, but it's Zancudo, so we know them. Shout out Zancudo.
Shout
out. Either way, though, so we have been still doing those, and I haven't really been making money, so I'm like running lower and lower on money. But I mean, it's not a big deal because you can make a lot of money pretty fast in the game. But
yeah.
Either way, like I wanted to get into something that like I wouldn't have to like invest so much into.
Like
and I could kind of just like jump into something that I could actually do that was like semi interesting, like bossing or something like that. But I didn't really want to go and like buy a bunch of gear for stuff. And
the giant mole, you don't even need that much gear.
Yeah, but the giant mole is like kind of annoying, like having to run around. I didn't really want to have to deal with buying a million stamina potions. So I was like in between just like jumping in and doing barrows, or I wanted to do Vorkath, but also like I just didn't want to buy all the gear for it. And also I don't have enough for a Dragon Cross anymore, so I'd have to like deal with a Dragon Hunter Cross. I would have to just buy a regular Dragon Cross, which would be
just do the regular crossbow.
Just a regular rune crossbow.
No, not even rune.
Oh, just
a regular crossbow.
Just a crossbow. I wonder how long that would take.
At least 10 seconds.
At least. I wonder if I would die before. I don't know if I would die before.
Run out of supplies, maybe. Because you couldn't use your good bolts. So
yeah,
it wouldn't
exactly.
be taking huge damage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he would take a really long time. I wonder who would die first, me or him. I'm not sure. That'd be really interesting.
It's a draw. You both die.
I've killed him.
You should try it out just to see.
I've killed him with a rune crossbow, and I've killed him with a dragon crossbow, which I think are the two lowest like things you can use that like people normally would use as like ultra budget.
Don't use the regular crossbow? I'm confused.
No, not every time usually.
Only half the time.
Yeah. Just for, doing the big damage.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want to like get invested in that. So I ended up just doing Temporos, which was pretty chill. Because my fishing's still pretty low on my main.
And if anyone's interested, he might be doing another stream for me sometime this week. Keep stopping by the stream. My friend is visiting from Hawaii, and I don't know my schedule anymore.
Yeah.
Yesterday we usually stream on Wednesdays. We're recording this hours before it goes out because yesterday we went to Disneyland all day.
Yeah.
We didn't get back till like midnight.
Literally
Midnight. So we canceled the stream yesterday and now we're going to stream tonight instead.
Potentially.
Hopefully people show up because we usually don't stream Thursdays.
Yeah.
I said so on Discord, so.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if I'm streaming or if you're streaming.
Yeah,
it's very unclear to me what's going on.
We'll have to figure it out because
it's tonight.
Yeah, whenever people join or whenever people visit like this, we usually just have to like kind of wing our schedules to the best of our ability.
Yeah. I think we're doing pretty well though.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But besides OSRS, I played a lot of Lost Ark. For anyone that plays or is interested, I'm almost tier 3, which for anyone that doesn't really know, that means I'm like level 50 and like nearly gear score 1100. So I guess that's kind of cool. And I made a bunch of, I actually found out you can, because like in obviously RuneScape you have one character unless you want to make multiple accounts or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this game, like most other MMOs, you can just make like a bunch of characters, and there's actually like a pretty good benefit to that. So it was pretty nice. I like was able to make like 6 more characters.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So now I have like 7 level 50s, which is pretty fun because they all play really differently. That's something that's really nice about this game, about Lost Ark, is all the characters play really, really differently. And it's also cool because all the skills are like really flashy. So even if you're like barely doing damage, you just feel like an absolute beast, which is always fun. But yeah, I was just mainly playing that for the most time. But besides that, I have been playing a little bit of like other games with my friends here and there. But most
like idle games.
Yeah, like mostly I haven't been playing that much like video games.
Kind of been busy this week.
Yeah, I've been busy and also just like kind of not really itching to play any games in particular.
That's how I felt like last week, and now I'm back into it.
Yeah. Also, I have been like wanting to more and more play my main, and
that makes me so happy.
Yeah. So I might get back into that. And also it's funny because I was thinking about like how to, because I have a video series on leagues, and I mean obviously I'm not getting dragon or anything anymore.
Yeah, but you're still gonna get rewards.
Yeah. But it's funny because I wanted to make a video to like officially end the series. And I was going to make a video where it would be like a funny, like me like starting to play like a normal video, and then it would like abruptly like end with,
that's when I stopped playing for 3 weeks.
Like a super like cinematic scene with like large orchestral music of like Lost Ark approaching.
Please do this.
kind of like there's like a demon going through like the gates of like, I don't know, just like crashing into my life.
Oh, that's exactly what happened. I think you should do this.
I thought that'd be funny to like kind of like actually end the series.
That's perfect.
For anyone that ever actually watched it.
People were watching it. People were invested, I'm pretty sure.
I know, there was a couple people watching it.
You just stopped making them.
No, for sure. I definitely just like...
What about that GIM series?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still have my GIM.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, I still have my GIM.
All right, what about our free-to-play to pay-to-play competitions?
Okay. Well, that's
May
also
of
your
last
fault.
year.
I'm also blaming 100% of that on you.
That's fine, because I forgot about it.
But yeah, I thought that was like kind of the only video I was like actually thinking about making for Osrs that I thought would be really funny.
That'd be great.
Besides that, also just talking about neck reels right now made me want to do like loot from like a Brazilian neck reels or something.
I've done from 1,000, but 1,000 only took me a few hours.
Yeah, I was like thinking like, what if I
just
did
make
like
my video but better,
like 10,000 neck reels.
God, after that, I've been trying to get him to do like a loot from Skatizo thing, because you have a lot of totems.
But what if I did like a bunch of neck reels and then I did Skatizo and then I got
That'd
the pet
cool.
3 times.
Stop it. It's not funny.
And then Dark Claw 5 times.
You should get loot from 25 Skatizo because you're supposed to get the Dark Claw within that.
Oh yeah, I could. I think it'd be cooler to do 100.
He already has like 10 totems. You think you want to do 100 Skatizo?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool to do 100 Skatizo because that's like a lot.
That'd be like more than 10,000 neck reels.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, unless you got really lucky. If you happen to be on task a lot.
Maybe we could do like 10,000 neck reels, or no, maybe I could do like a few thousand neck reels and then like a few thousand dust devils, and then
you should just do skip like a bunch of Slayer tasks and try to do mostly Slayer because the superiors always drop them.
My Slayer is low on my main. I can't even get necks.
What?
Yeah, I can't even. I think Slayer for neck reels is like 81, and I think mine's like 78 or something like that.
I am shocked. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like my Slayer is actually not that high on my main.
I don't. Okay, I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's also weird that I've like way higher attack now than I used to, or like way higher combat.
Oh yeah, because your combat, like you maxed out a couple of them.
Yeah, like I think I'm like 122 or 123, something like that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
That's actually so crazy to say out loud.
Yeah, I logged in my character and I like pressed like 1, which is the hotkey for my like attack styles, and it said like 120 something, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
You're like, maybe I will play this main more.
The last time I played, like actually played my main that wasn't like AFKing Vires, I was like I don't know, like 107 or something. And at least I'm pretty sure it was like pretty low in comparison.
Yeah, no, you were significantly
maybe
lower.
like 114.
Yeah.
And so I got like at least 10 levels.
Dude.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
We had some bigger news.
What?
We have our first ever official sponsorship going, everyone.
Oh, yeah. I guess it's bigger news.
I think that's big news. If anyone's interested,
it's for US only, because I know we get a lot of EU or Europe listeners.
I know. And someday we'll find something for you guys, because someday we'll live there too. But for now.
But yeah, so we do have an offer for anyone interested or anyone that already participates in using like a meal service. We're like currently running a sponsorship for the month with HelloFresh. So you can easily get like pretty much half off on your next 6, is it? Or,
it scales. So over the next 6 orders, you end up getting 16 meals free. So like the first order, it's basically 50% off, then 40, then 30, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But it ends up equaling out to 16 free meals, and they said 3 surprises, and I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what the surprises are.
You don't get the surprises till the later weeks. You can order all 6 weeks, of course, and like that'd be cool. You only need to order 1 if you want to help us.
Yeah, so like for us, for example, they don't offer any like purely vegan things.
Yeah, so we got the most vegan things. We're just gonna give away the cheese.
Yeah, so we got like the vegetarian options, but we only ordered for one week.
Yeah, 2 meals for each of us for 1 week, and it was $20.
Yeah, so it's $5 a meal if you only just want to try it out and see if you even like it. Yeah. Which is what we're doing, and it seems like a pretty good deal.
Or if you want to support us, you'd spend like, I think it was $22, and we'd get $100.
Yeah.
So that'd be appreciated as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely cool.
And it's nice. I'm excited because we like buy a lot of produce that like we're bad vegans. It ends up going bad and we throw away. Yeah. So it'll be nice to have an exact amount.
I'm throwing Michelle under the bus. I'm also blaming her mostly for that.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong too. When I said we're bad vegans, I mostly meant me. I'm like, I care about the environment, but I'm also like, oh no, I forgot we had grapes from 5 months ago.
I know.
Trash.
She's like, oh, I would definitely eat more fruit if I had like grapes. Buys grapes, doesn't eat them.
Because I buy the Costco things and it's a lot of grapes.
True. Shout out to Costco.
Turn into raisins.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
We're talking about our sponsorships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you go to twitch.tv/Bunebape, we have like the link that you could use for that. I also tweeted it too. And I'll probably put it like on our link tree on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, but yeah, it's only going for the month. So if you're listening to this like in March or something,
never mind.
Yeah, probably not happening.
Hopefully we have another sponsorship sometime after that.
Yeah, I guess it would go into March for a little bit, but
not by a lot though.
Yeah, not by a lot. But I think that's probably, I guess, like kind of it for our updates for this week.
It's funny, we didn't have much game ones, but we had a lot of like all around ones.
Yeah, definitely not a lot of game ones, but I'm hoping to play more games in the coming weeks, honestly, because I just kind of haven't really had the time or motivation to. But
now you're getting it there.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But we can jump into the first topic that we had, which is going to be the Tomb of a Mascot rewards. So they have been. I actually didn't know that they were going to plan on changing these, and I don't think they did either until recently. But they have this new blog called Tomb of a Mascot Raid Rewards V2. So it says that they haven't forgotten about the Tomb of a Mascot rewards. In fact, they've been discussing our feedback at length. However,
I forgot Tomb of a Mascot was even happening.
I know, right? I feel like it's been forever. However, in January, a new piece of content dropped that made us rethink a few of our decisions. Next. The rewards for defeating the fearsome Angel of Death. I know,
What a title.
really. Fearsome Angel of Death were really impressive. And this inspired us to reassess Tomb of Masket's loot. Your input was also crucial in helping us see how we could push even further with these desert delights. Desert delights.
Almost.
Almost. So what's changing? While we are still happy with some of the items we designed, others have undergone significant reworks. As an added bonus, we've also included 2 new features that will neatly coincide with this particular raid. All right, so the main thing that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Masori Armor. So this is the armor set that used to be the low life set that would deal more damage the lower health you had, and would also drop your health to get you into that low life area. So one thing that they changed about this is practically everything. So,
so one thing is everything.
Yeah, so now there is no low life effect. They removed the low life effect, and they plan on revisiting it at another date probably. But as for the time being, they are not going to be adding it to this set of armor.
Okay.
Instead, they removed that and changed it out with a new dodge mechanic.
Interesting.
Yeah. It says, although some of you liked the set effects, it was a bit niche, and many of you felt the trade-off was simply not worth it. I honestly would agree. I think it was super niche, and most of the time it would, like they said, just either not be worth it because you could like die just so easily,
Yeah.
or it would just make like playing the game really difficult because you had to stay in that low life area. And so honestly, yeah, it just in general was a little too niche for it to work this time around. Maybe if they, hopefully improve it later on.
Something
I think
in
it
the
is,
future.
yeah, I think it is a cool idea and a cool concept, but I just didn't see it really working as it was laid out.
Yeah.
As such, though, the armor set is still going to be the helmet, chest, and chain skirt. No amulet this time around. Thank goodness. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if they removed the amulet or if it's just not part of the set. I don't think it mentions that here. Either way, it's not going to be part of the set for sure.
Okay.
And like I said, it doesn't mean that there's no low life. They are going to be revisiting it in the future, but just not for now. So instead, the stats that came from the effects of low life on the original set will make up the base version of the new set. So the base version of the new set is going to be pretty nice, plus the original bonus, or plus the original prayer bonus.
Awesome.
So maybe if you caught it, I said base version because there's actually going to be 2 different versions of this armor set. And like they said, they did like what they saw at Next. So they're going to be doing something similar in this regard, because there's going to be a base version, which was the old upgraded version, and then there's going to be the new upgraded version, which you're going to use Armadillo armor in order to melt it down, similar to how you melt down Bando's gear.
To make the
and and then you're going to add to the Masori set to make the upgraded version, which is going to be the just straight up new best in slot ranged gear.
That is so interesting.
Yeah. So you can still wear the base set of gear, and it's going to be, I mean, decent, but it is just not going to be anywhere near as good as the new set of gear, which is going to require, of course, Armadillo armor to be melted down with 90 crafting, and you'll be able to use a chisel and create the upgraded versions. Along with that, the base equipment will focus on low defense and high offense, making it one of the best choices for an offense ranged build, while the upgraded version is going to be, like I said, just straight up the new best in slot range gear in all categories.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. The fully upgraded armor will surpass the offensive capabilities of the Armadillo pieces. For comparison, the fully upgraded armor will have the following stats, and it essentially is plus 18 or more accuracy on everything, as well as 8 or more defense on everything, with prayer bonus being the same across the board though, and range strength also plus 8.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's just straight up better and the best.
It's fine.
Yeah, which is cool because it's a new raid. It should have some best in slot stuff in it, because raids are a big deal. I mean, obviously, it's just like, imagine like having Tomb without the scythe. Like, it'd just be not as nearly as interesting. I mean, that would still have the rapier and stuff like that, which would be crazy.
Imagine it without a rapier or without a scythe.
Yeah, imagine if like the rapier was niche, the like Sanguinesti was niche, and the scythe didn't exist. Then it'd be like, all right, why am I doing tombs?
Yeah.
Or well, not tomb, but why are we doing theater?
Chambers. No, theater. God. All the
Why are we
raids are
doing-
blending in my mind.
Why are we doing anything if it just doesn't have like some of the new or like best in slot stuff?
Why are we even trying to say all the names of these raids if we don't go to them?
True.
Because we cannot remember them.
As far as the next piece, which is going to be the Heka of Tumakin and
The
the
hecka.
I mean, that's what it's called. And the Ward of Illidinus. This is going to be the new. The Heka is the wand that has the slow and then fast, or the fast and then slow cycle for damage. And then we have the Ward, which is the new best in slot mage shield.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so as far as the Heka, not too many changes, honestly, for the rest of the items in general, but for the Heka as well. The only thing they changed was the special effect. So it's still going to be a weapon that has 3 2-tick attacks and then a stronger 4-tick attack at the very end with a little bit of a reset. But one thing they are going to be changing is if you look at the previous raid rewards like the Twisted Bow and the Scythe of Viter, they were unique, powerful, and most importantly, they had the wow factor that made them worth the grind.
That pizzazz.
Yeah, kind of like what we were just saying. Instead of scaling differently according to your magic strength, the Heka will now unleash a special effect dependent on the spellbook you are attuned to, alongside a 4th, more powerful attack, allowing you more options for your builds. Here's what we're thinking. So they're saying that if you are on the standard spellbook, it's going to be a 10% damage boost. The ancient spellbook is going to be an AoE 3x3 area of attack, very similar to a burst
Barrage.
or a barrage. The lunar spellbook is going to heal allies by 5% and increase the Heka's range. The Arceus spellbook is going to be losing 3 prayer points, but in return, it's going to boost your character, drain the NPC, and unfortunately the boost will not last permanently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's going to boost your magic by 50% of the drained magic that you drain from the NPC.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be like kind of, it seems like
temporary boost.
Yeah, temporary boost, taking from the enemy, stuff that we have seen kind of before, but all this does seem pretty unique. It seems like a really interesting system, especially because depending on what spellbook you're using or what content you're doing, you're going to be using different spellbooks. So it'll be interesting to see what people end up using for spellbooks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially because like the Arceus spellbook is really nice because you get the new summons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But maybe the ancients or the standard spellbook might just be better overall. So
you like the bonuses they come with.
Yeah, like you might want to take that over a thrall because maybe it just does more damage in general because of that. So
you have to really think about what you want here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then they do have the new heal mechanic. So heal allies by 5% of your current magic level along the path of your projectile. So if everyone's lined up, you could technically heal, I mean, I don't know, like technically like 100 people. It doesn't say that there's it says capped at 5 players. So
500 people.
Yeah, but I mean, still 5 players, even if you're only healing for like 10 health, that's technically 50 points of health that you just healed.
That reminds me of like blood barraging whenever with the neck reels and I get really low and then I only have to do it once and I'm healed up.
Yeah. That's definitely something weird because they don't obviously have that in the game where there's like a tank and then a healer and then a DPS like in other traditional MMOs.
Yeah, we don't have a healing one.
Yeah, exactly. So there is kind of a tank one because you have the bulwark and that special attack and stuff like that. And obviously tank gear, but you don't really have the healing aspect. But this is kind of interesting because it kind of does add that where you can, I mean, more or less heal your teammates if you really want to.
I like that. That's going to be so cool, actually.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there are healing spells, but just not as traditionally as like, or easily to use as this one.
Yeah.
As far as the ward goes, this is the shield that is going to require 90 prayer and 90 smithing in order to make the shield that you're going to want. But they actually made it so that you can equip the baseline Ward of Illidinus, but including the new one that you can make. So let me clear that up. Yes. The Ward of Illidinus is the item that drops from the raid, and you can wear it, and it gives you some defense, some magic bonus, and a little bit of prayer. But if you want, you can make the originally proposed item still, which combines a sigil with the ward into the new best in slot Ward of Illidinus, and this is going to be the one that gives you that extra magic damage percent, which makes it the new best in slot for mage offhands. But it's just a little bit interesting. It doesn't seem like they really changed anything besides you being able to wear the baseline version of it.
Yeah.
As far as the shield goes, it's still crazy good, really high defenses, high magic offense, as well as the magic damage
I
bonus
mean, it'll be
percent.
blessed or bested in slot, yeah.
Yeah, it's still going to be
It'll be
best in slot.
blessed.
Yeah, I mean that too. So it's still going to be best in slot. They just made it so if you don't have enough to get a spirit shield, maybe you're an Iron Man that doesn't have the spirit shield yet, then you can
Here's
still
another shield that's hard to get.
yeah, you can still wear the shield. It's definitely not that good baseline, but I mean if there's nothing else you have, then you can still use that.
It's something.
Yeah. As far as the light bearer, this is the ring that gives you no offensive capabilities, but does increase your special attack energy regeneration by 100%.
Ooh.
And they didn't change anything here. They just are mentioning it again, and they said they do assume that for the most part you'll continue using rings like the Berserker ring and Archer ring and stuff like that, but it will have its niches, so that'll be interesting to see.
Like everything in this game, it will have its niches.
Yeah, exactly. As far as Osumemten's Fang.
That's a fun one.
No, it says Osmemten's Fang.
Oh, Osmumtons.
Osmumten's Fang.
Depends how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, either way, I don't know how to pronounce it.
We don't know the official thing yet.
It is 82 attack, so this is the weapon. I think this is the weapon, I believe, that used to be called something else, and they changed it to the name of this. I think this used to be the item that was a... like we were making fun of it because it's normally a slicing weapon.
Oh, the curved one.
Yeah, the curved one.
And they're like, it's a stab.
Yeah, and then they changed it to this name and also a different design. So either way, this is going to be the two-handed weapon that makes it so you can never hit a 0, essentially. So this is a slow attack weapon, and like I said, it never hits for a 0. So, for example, the way that you would hit if your max hit was a 60 is it would roll for damage in between 9 and 51.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
There's some complicated math to it that we're not going to read because there's no way any of you will remember.
Yeah, so you can go to the patch notes if you really want to see what the math works out to. But for anyone that doesn't know, you can, even if you successfully hit an enemy, you can still roll a 0 for damage. Yep. So this two-handed weapon, Osmumten's Fang, will make it so that you can never hit for a 0. It'll hit for... If, for example, you went to go for a 60, it would hit between 9 and 51, like I said.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so it's nice because your average damage will be higher, technically, than if you had, like, lower accuracy. So this might be good against enemies that have higher defenses or something like that, or I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be definitely useful in some places. Yeah. And also, it still has the special attack that would increase the max hit of the weapon to its true max hit for one attack. Because... obviously, if you listened to what I just said, it hits between 9 and 51, even if the max hit is really 60. So overall, you're doing less higher end damage, but more lower end damage.
So really, it kind of just depends on what your attack level is. If your attack level is low, this would be super handy. Because you wouldn't normally be hitting that much.
Yeah, potentially. So like if your accuracy is low, then yeah. Along with all that, it does say that one of the new aspects of the Fang is more similar to the Crystal Halberd and various spears, and I think this is probably one of the bigger changes of the items we got, is that it'll deal full damage to corporeal beast when on stab.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. So,
what a specific thing to do.
So I don't know, most people probably know, but not all weapons are equal when it comes to the beast. So this one, you can use it there, which is going to be nice. In addition, this is actually a big change that they kind of just threw in the very last sentence of this little article.
Okay.
It says, in addition, we will be removing the 50 damage cap that Corp currently has. Yeah. So now you've got a weapon that's great for taking on Ol Corp. So you can have more fun hunting the sigil to make that completed Ward of Elidness.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's actually a really big change for, I mean, a lot of reasons. So if you're hitting up to 70s or up to 100 even, obviously that damage would be halved in that case, which is a really big deal.
That can make kills a lot faster.
Yeah, it's going to make kills a lot faster. It's going to make the strategies and the meta possibly change. So that is a really big...
Is it going to make the spirit shield's value go down?
Yeah, it is.
Good, because I want to buy one. Get it to like 20 mil.
It's definitely gonna make spirit shields go down. So I mean, obviously, because you can farm it way easier, it's gonna make buying instances more affordable because you're gonna get more KC potentially. So
Oh.
that's kind of a big deal. So that's gonna be it for most of the changes. But like they mentioned at the top, there are 2 new additional items they are proposing to bring into the game. So this first one is called a stat renewal potion. And to break it down, essentially, from my understanding, let me know if it's going to work out differently. But from my
So
quick,
worded kind of weirdly.
no, there's just like a lot of like stat references and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But either way, it just says essentially the stat renewal potion has the same stat renewal aspects of an overload. So if your combat stats are below base, it will restore them back up. This means the effect would last for 5 minutes, and the amount that would restore is 16% of your skill level plus 6.
Okay.
But it does say the potion will not boost your stats above your base level. So to me, this sounds like a super restore without the prayer potion part of it.
But it's also hitting your health for 50 still, right? If it's like an overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like they're just putting you in. It's like you put on Darok's gear, but in one click.
Yeah, so it even says at the top, it says that we know that that one of the most useful potions you can create during a Chambers of Xeric is the Overload, which boosts all players' combat stats by 6 plus 16% while damaging them for 50 HP. Uniquely, the boost is repeated every 15 seconds until the effect wears off, after which the player's heals 50 HP, and this makes it better than your standard potion as it ticks up over time.
Okay.
So,
It doesn't specifically say if it's going to do the hit point thing.
yeah, it doesn't yeah, because it says it has the same stat renewal aspect of an overload.
Yes.
So that's making me wonder if this is just like, yeah, I don't know, like,
It must take away your hit points because otherwise it's just a super restore.
yeah, or yeah, I'm not
It's
entirely
confusing.
sure.
I feel like they didn't explain completely how this works.
Or yeah, maybe we're just overthinking it or something.
Yeah,
Let us
we probably are
know
overthinking
what
it.
you think this actually does, because it says the amount would restore 16% of your skill level plus 6, which is the same thing that an overload does, but an overload boosts.
Yeah, they're just what I'm confused about is that as far as they're talking about the stat renewal potion, they're making like no mention of your hit points at all.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
honestly, I feel like them, unless I mean, I have done Chambers, I know what an overload is, and
I've done Nightmare Zone, so
yeah, and NMZ does have overloads as well, which work the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we're overthinking it or if them adding the wordage of saying it's like an overload from Chambers is confusing me completely.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's any similar to the effects of an overload, besides the fact that it lasts for 5 minutes, and besides the fact that it restores your points. So what I'm guessing this does is, let's say there is an enemy that constantly debuffs you.
Mm-hmm.
So what this would do is would constantly rebuff you up to your baseline. So essentially for the next 5
Oh.
minutes, you cannot be,
Okay, you cannot be knocked down. for
yeah,
your
you cannot
skills.
be debuffed.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so if an enemy keeps like taking away your attack like 5 every other second, then this would make it so that you're actually just staying at baseline.
Yeah,
You're not getting
that makes
boosts,
way more
but you're not
sense.
getting nerfed.
Because I was like, I don't even understand the point of this.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I could definitely see a point of this, but the fact that they made so many references to the overload when it doesn't boost at all.
Yeah, we're taking it very seriously. Now we're just considering an overload.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't say anything about your health being taken away. So
We'll have to wait and see.
yeah, that's
if
also
they
really
clarify
confusing.
more. I'm like, why'd you compare it to it if it's not exactly like it?
Yeah, exactly. I would have. Yeah. I wish they would have just clarified.
We're
that.
definitely just tired and overthinking it.
Probably. As far as the next item, it's going to be the Pharaoh's Scepter teleport. So, of course, the Pharaoh Scepter already in the game. But it does say that one more treat while you're here is, as we're raiding in the desert, we want to give players an easy way to get to the instance once it comes available. Because, yeah, I think there's a really easy way to get to Chambers and a really easy way to get to Theater. So it'd kind of be weird if this was like a pain to have to like fly a carpet all the way over to the raid every time or something.
Fly a carpet to one place and then to a second place.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
even just one carpet. Right?
yeah, honestly, this does seem like it'll kind of still be a pain, but at least it'll make Scepters go up in price by a ton. I mean, I haven't looked at the market, but I
True.
wouldn't be surprised if they were double the price right now.
Yeah.
As it happens, there's already a specific item that can get you to a couple of important places within the desert, the Pharaoh's Scepter. So let's make use of it. Use the Scepter on an obelisk outside of the raid entrance and you'll be granted an additional teleport close to the raid entrance. This will only be possible after completing the Beneath Cursed Sands prerequisite quest. If this passes, we'll also tidy up the right-click menu just so that you have the teleport and teleport to previous options on the Scepter. Clicking on teleport will then bring you into the interface, which will give you more options on where to go. Yeah, as well as the Scepter would also be recolored and made untradeable after completing its attunement.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. So, I mean, it's neat in
I love
that
a
it's
recolor.
yeah, it's also an item sync to an extent. So that's kind of cool.
And fashion safe.
Yeah, of course. So that's going to be it for this blog. I think overall the changes seem to be pretty cool and pretty good in general. I mean, new best of slot stuff is always exciting and interesting, whether you are like a true old schooler about everything becoming easyscape or not, and worried about power creep like I think most of us are. It's still pretty exciting to see this get put into the game. But again, this is all just designed and them talking about what they're planning on doing. So if you really have strong feelings about any of this stuff, make sure to let them know over on the forums or just tweeting at them
Twitter,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Make sure to be kind and respectful though. And rolling right into the actual update for this week, we have the next achievements and loot keys. Did you read a little bit about this?
I read a little bit about the achievements. I don't know what the loot keys are.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the first times I've seen it because I was spending most of my time reading the other one.
I was like at Disneyland yesterday.
Yeah, mostly that as well. So the old school RuneScape new Android client open beta will be happening on the 28th. Pretty exciting for anyone that is exclusively playing on mobile or just really enjoys playing on mobile with all of the new big stuff that's getting put over there onto that client. You can check it out over on the actual store on the 28th. Download it, be a part of whatever they have going on over there. Give your feedback, let them know what you do and don't like, and they'll continue working on it to make it as good as possible.
Awesome.
Yeah, so pretty cool. And there is a ton of functionality in this beta. So like I said, if you play on mobile at all and are really wishing you had even some aspects of RuneLite, then maybe check this out. This could be just up your alley.
Sick.
So they do have a thing showing how you can opt in or opt out of the open beta on this actual page. So if that is you, then concerns you at all, make sure to go down here and check it out or not check it out.
Yeah, this will be in our video description.
Yes, in the YouTube video description or just on the Osrs news page. As far as the mobile support goes, it works for any Android 8.0 or later with at least 2 gigabytes of RAM. So most modern phones should be able to play it.
Yeah.
As far as the Next Combat achievements go, since the release of Next, we've been itching to add some additional challenges for you to show your prowess. So this week, we've added an array of new tasks for you to sink your teeth into. Here's a brand new Next achievements. That's pretty cool. So they added Elite, Master, and Grandmaster achievements for the combat achievements. So if you were just about to get the rewards for Elite, Master, or Grandmaster, then rest in peace, because there is a few more things you're going to have to do in order to actually get those rewards for the achievements. But a lot of them aren't too bad. For Elite, it's going to be stuff like killing next or killing next without dying. There's quite a few for Master, though, such as not getting hit, not letting her heal, stuff like that. And if you are one of the prestigious Grandmasters, then you can tackle these kills, which are going to be pretty tough. So killing next while a player is coughing, killing next while only 2 players are inside the arena at the start of the fight, and killing next while completing the requirements for There Is No Escape. A siphon will solve this and contain this all at the same time.
Don't taking any damage the entire time.
Yeah, so it's essentially like perfect kill. Well, it's literally called perfect kill next.
Yeah.
So it's just like all the other perfect kills. A lot of these are pretty tough. So, but I've seen people do the other combat achievements. I know people will be able to do this pretty easily.
Technically, at least we've done the kill next. I wonder if we'll get that unlocked.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll have to go back.
I'm not sure if it's retroactive.
Yeah.
Either way, though, people that I'm actually sure people have already finished all of these
Oh, yeah.
because these aren't too bad, honestly. If you've done Next for any amount of time, or if you are a grandmaster in any capacity, then this is probably all going to be pretty easy for you. The only hard part might be finding a friend to duo it.
I
But
mean, you only have to do it in the beginning. So just find a bunch of people. 2 people start, and then everyone else join in right after.
you
Oh,
can't, it locks it.
Oh, yeah, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so you
Never
have
mind.
to duo it. But besides that, there are some changes to PvP Deadman mode style loot keys. So this is actually pretty cool. Next up, a highly anticipated PvP change, loot keys for PKing. With
Oh,
this
God.
new setting enabled, this is actually pretty cool. This is something I mentioned in the past and I thought was a good idea. So this says that if you you can opt in to having your PvP opponents drop their loot in the form of a key. That key will contain up to 28 of your target's most valuable items, which would otherwise have been dropped on death. So for example, if you're wearing like 8 pieces of gear and then you have a full inventory, it would only take the 28 most and leave the remaining 8 on the floor. So you'd have to go back if you really wanted all of it, but I mean, I doubt you would. So it says to benefit from this new change, you'll need to purchase the ability to gain keys from Scully for a cool 5 million GP.
It's a lot.
You can speak to him to toggle your newfound ability off and on at any time. You'll be able to receive loot keys from both normal and PvP worlds. Using the loot key on the chest next to Scully will allow you to see all the glorious loot stored inside the keys. You can also hold up to 5 loot keys at any one time. Should you receive a key after hitting this limit, it'll drop to the ground along with any loot, as per existing behavior. Loot keys cannot be banked. You'll be able to customize your drops from the following options. Decide whether your opponent's food and potions go to the loot key or are dropped normally, allowing you more survivability. Change the value threshold of loot keys so that items above a certain value will appear normally on the ground.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So, for instance, if, like they said, if you really want to PK as much as possible, you're probably not going to want the loot key to have all of their brews and all of their restores, any sharks they might have.
Yeah.
You're probably going to want that to get dropped to the ground. Or if you are doing, for some reason, like maybe looking for a unique kill video or something like that, where you're just upgrading your gear, then you probably are going to want to use, maybe like if someone drops a ballista and you don't have one yet, you're probably going to want to pick that up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't want to get that, run all the way back to the bank, something like that.
Very situational.
Yeah, so you can change what threshold of money, because, I mean, honestly, if you're going in there with full black d'hide, you probably want to set the limit above 10k, because it doesn't really matter if there's another full set of black d'hide dropping to the ground. You're probably just going to, immediately sell that. So overall, that does seem pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't PK, but that seems pretty cool. It kind of
Yeah.
seems like something that should have been a thing, because I watch videos where people like will PK, and I don't understand because they have to like juggle so much stuff. Picking
Yeah.
up what's valuable, I'm always like, this doesn't seem effective at all. Like you can PK one thing, you have to go bank.
Yeah, obviously, like, because I don't PK a lot, all of it seems really stressful. But
Oh, yeah.
honestly, I could not really like imagine how stressful it would be if you're like in the Rev caves, get a 30 mil PK somehow, and then like have to like pick out the loot real quick and then like run back
and defend
or
yourself.
yeah, defend yourself. Hopefully, you don't get like run down or something after
Yeah.
the kill.
This makes
But,
way more sense to me.
Yeah, this is really cool. So
From non-PKers though.
it just makes it seem like you can essentially hold 5 times as much loot potentially. Not 5 times. It's more like 2 times as much, because you still have the you could potentially bring a looting bag if you really
True.
wanted to. But either way, I think this is a really cool change. Potentially a really cool change. If you are a PKer and this sucks, let us know why.
Yeah, we're discussing, like I said, not PKers here.
Yeah. As far as the loot goes, Scully is in Pharaoh, located slightly east of the banker, and loot keys are used in both pay to play and free to play. So that's really, really cool. I think that's a really cool
Nice.
change for free to play.
I like that. I like anything that gets added for free to play, really.
Yeah.
I'm like, they need all they can get.
Yeah. Shout out to Briafita staff. That's now free to play.
Oh yeah, everything on the poll got passed.
Yeah. From last
Yeah.
week, right? Yeah. Skull players will have a skull icon over the head that shows how many keys they hold.
So
Initially,
you can keep it a secret.
Yeah. Initially, we said that this would only appear for those with 2 or more loot keys, but we decided that it should apply to any Skull player holding between 1 to 5 keys.
Oh, wait.
So it's just like Deadman.
You know why I like this? Because sometimes you see people scold, and I'm like, okay, are they PKers or were they just in the abyss? And now
Yeah.
if they have keys, you'll know. Run.
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
Run very far.
That's a really good point. I mean, usually they'll be decked out in like gear, if they are skulled and PKing.
Well, I was thinking leagues, people would come and PK you wearing like the most random things.
Yeah.
Like they're not even wearing nice gear. They do it just for fun, obviously. And usually, like, if people have skulls in leagues, they'd just be at the abyss. But sometimes they'd be PKers, and now we'd know.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have played Deadman, it looks exactly like that. It's just a skull with a bunch of keys around the skull. As far as Scully goes, it says that it'll say the total amount of claimed keys and the total amount of loot, both claimed and destroyed, is actually tracked and can be checked with Scully.
Wow.
For example, they have like a little text box, and it shows that Scully will say that you've claimed 9 keys containing about 2.5 bill, and you've destroyed about 2.2 bill worth of it. So it's kind of funny. As far as loot keys and death, it says the effects of being unskulled and the item protect prayer applies to any items not held in loot keys, but not loot keys themselves.
Oh.
As a consequence, loot keys will always be dropped on death, whether PvP, PvM, skulled, or unskulled. Okay, so this actually makes a lot bigger difference and more sense for which items of the threshold you want to keep. For example, if you kill someone and they have a Sanguinesti staff, which is worth, a few dozen millions, then you might want that to actually be dropped because you can save that as your +1.
That could be your one thing that you get.
Yeah, you can save that
I
as
would
your
have thought the
+1.
opposite. I would have thought I would want food to drop, but now that's kind of risky.
Well, you'll still definitely want food to drop, but because it says that you can like separate them, so I hope they'll make it so you can make food drop and high threshold items drop as well.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
Yeah,
Let us know what you all think, all the PKers out there.
Yeah, that seems really cool because
what's your strategy?
If for some reason someone has a scythe and your threshold is set to like 100 mil, then you'll be able to keep the +1 scythe no matter what, unless you get smited or something.
Well, that'd be really sick.
Yeah, that'd be really, really cool. Either way, that's pretty cool. It says whether PvP, PvM, skulled, or unskulled, you will drop your keys. Should you be unfortunate enough to die with keys in your inventory, they will be transferred to the players that killed you.
Oh.
If they are eligible to receive them, or deleted. Imagine being a 5 key holder and killing a 5 key holder, how many items you would delete. Like actually literally over 100 items.
That's kind of crazy because it's going to be making the key holders target each other now.
Yeah.
If you see someone with 5 keys and you are a PKer, you might not necessarily be scared. You could be like, oh, I could get all those keys.
One funny thing is if you really want to troll people and you're like an experienced Iron Man, Iron players will be able to unlock loot keys, but please note, they will only have the option to destroy the contents of the key entirely.
What?
Imagine walking around as an Iron with 5 keys.
Just to destroy it.
Just literally a ruiner of dreams.
That's actually so
You're
funny.
not even going to like take it for yourself. You just hate people.
Yeah.
As far as other changes go, that's going to be about it for the PvP changes. It says that using an ornament kit on the God books no longer causes issues. They fixed a graphical bug with the Shattered Relics Abyssal Whip. And further to last week's update, we removed a red cross symbol present in the Dunce random event.
Yeah, I read something that they said that there's like red crosses all over and they got rid of them.
That's weird.
Because people were making a joke about like, oh, a prediction is that Osrs will like violate Geneva's. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
I
weird.
don't know. It's a very niche joke.
Yeah, that's weird.
But they got rid of red crosses.
It's been removed. Yeah, cool. As far as the league's rankings go, it's been updated.
It's devastating.
Yeah, 40K is going to be for Dragon rank. And
they must
that's a
be
lot.
maxed now.
That's
they
a lot,
must have
dude.
all the points.
I think it hasn't gone up much this week because they're getting close to the max. If I had to guess. Rune is going to be 26,000 points, Adamant 13,000, Mithril 5,000, Steel 1,600, and Iron Man is 480.
Iron rank.
Yeah. Yeah. Literal Iron Man.
At least we still get Mithril.
Yeah. As far as that is going to be about it for this week's update. So there was a good amount of stuff, some really cool PK updates, or PvP updates in general. I think this is a really cool idea. Some changes to achievements. So if you are running dry on achievements, you want more stuff to do, then you can fill out the rest of your combat achievement book now.
Or if you happen to be really good at next, might as well.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are on mobile, then hopefully this breathes some new life into the somewhat relic aged app that will have some new features on it. So that's pretty cool.
That's really nice too.
Yeah, let us know what you think about all this down in the comments below. If you are watching on YouTube, or tweet at us twitter.com/Bunebapeosrs.
Yes.
So, like we said, that's going to be about it for the news this week. We are going to be covering a couple Q&As, one from our good friend Matt over on Instagram,
Shout
as
out,
always.
Matt.
Shout out, Matt. And I think it was a really good question this week.
I like this question. So Matt asked, what mostly abandoned OSR's location is the coolest? He did specify that while abandoned is subjective, be reasonable. Don't just say like Falador.
Yeah.
And his answer, he said Keldegrim. I think it has a super cool vibe and has a lot of potential to be a spot with fun activities, guilds, stores, etc. But there's never anyone there.
Yeah.
Which I can agree. Every time I have to go to Keldegrim for a clue scroll, first of all, I don't even remember how to get there ever. And then I get there and I'm just like, all right, it's just me and my little homies. We live here. No one else.
Yeah.
No one else is ever there.
For sure.
What do you think?
Yeah. So when I first heard this question, it took me a second, but I think this would qualify as a good answer because I think it is woefully underutilized, and that's going to be
Maybe not quite abandoned, but underutilized.
yeah, maybe not quite abandoned, but it's pretty damn close, and that's going to be almost all of Corinne.
This might be a hot take because there are some parts of Corinne that are popping.
Yeah, and by most of Corinne, I'm meaning the main cities. Because if you take a look at Shazian, definitely Lovacane, or Lovacange, however you pronounce it. I mean, Hosidius to probably the least extent of all of them. But I mean, Arceus, there is no one in any of these spots.
I don't even know what's in the cities.
Yeah, exactly.
I just know the altar in the
So
library.
I was thinking like maybe like 10% of all of Corinne, which is a massive landmass, is used. I mean, you're going to sand crabs. You got like the guilds that are used pretty often, and then like the raids, Mount Karum, and Wintertop, which I mean does sound like a long list.
I don't even consider Wintertot Corinne.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a long list, but if you think about it, no one is really using Arceus besides the library. Like that's a dozen other buildings that people aren't using.
I don't even know what's in them.
Shazian, no one ever goes to Shazian unless you're doing Lizardman.
Or clue scrolls.
Yeah, or a clue scroll. Like no one is ever there. Lovacange, no one goes there to
For
Lovacange.
no reason. I get my dynamite once a day and that's it.
Yeah, so like if you're doing blast mines, maybe if you're running to the undergrounds for brutal black dragons,
Yeah.
maybe you're going to Lovacange, but that's it. Hosidius probably
You're
to
not
the
even going
least.
to Lovacange. It's just like a stop along your journey.
Yeah, Piscarilius.
Oh my god, I forgot it existed.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably people listening right now like, I go there all the time.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a couple people you'll see running around once in a while, but the cities are fairly dead.
Just compare them like Varrock.
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
you'll realize how slow they really
Compare
are.
it to any of the other major cities, and you're like, dang. I mean, it's probably because the landmass is so big, and there's just so little there that you'll probably see one person here, one person randomly thieving, one person randomly fishing, but there's no shot you're seeing 5 people. There's no shot.
Impossible.
Hosidius is the least likely to abide by this because they do have the mini game, the sand crabs, and thieving, and also the cooking range. So there's quite a few good reasons to go to Hosidius, but everywhere else, it is deader than dead. So I don't know if it's quite abandoned, but I think it is really close. It is very underutilized.
Yeah.
But I also liked your answer.
Yeah, my answer is the underwater area at Fossil Island.
Yeah.
Which, if you know, like you go to like the little island off the northern coast of Fossil Island, and you can go and there's just this little thing with a bank chest, and you could dive down there. It's most well known because that's where people farm their giant seaweed. That is the only reason I see people there. There's literally like 2 mini games. Kind of. There's drift net fishing, which is actually really good. Supposedly, it's really good fishing XP if you get good at it.
Yeah, isn't it hunting XP too?
It's hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
I tried it. I wasn't very good at it though.
Yeah, I never tried it. I just always saw it on the methods.
Yeah. And there's also underwater agility and thieving.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
like another little minigame. You use like puffer fish to give you air and stuff and go around. It's actually really cool.
That's cool.
It sucks because I like this area. I was doing like the agility and thieving for a little bit, but I stopped. And they think that there's little like, they're called lobstrosities. I looked them up, and you can go and fight those too.
That's so funny. I've never been to the underwater area
Mhm.
besides the quest.
Yeah,
Like not even once.
it's really cool. It's actually super pretty and stuff too.
Yeah.
I actually really
I
like
was
it down there.
when Michelle told me this answer, I thought it was really cool, and I thought it'd be really cool to have like not maybe to the extent of Atlantis, unless they like really
We went
wanted to
over
go that.
this in Atlantis continent.
Yeah, unless they really wanted to go in that direction, which I doubt they ever would want to.
That'd be a
But
cool quest. Be like the wise old man's like, I've heard of this like lost civilization. We
yeah,
find it like in a rock behind the fossil island underwater.
yeah, I think that'd be really cool to
Uh
have an
huh.
Atlantis expansion of some sort.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really cool.
You know what else he thought whenever I was telling him? I was like saying the underwater, and I was like, yeah, there's two mini games there. And I was talking about it, and he's like, what? Really? Turns out he thought I was talking about the dungeon
No,
on
because
Fossil Island.
originally either she said or I thought she said Fossil Island Underground.
Yeah.
So I
It's
was
whenever we were driving
thinking,
back from Disney and we were both tired. So
yeah,
I
so
think
I
that's
was
why.
thinking that she was talking about the like hidden Slayer area under Fossil Island or like where
The
the
wyverns
rune
there.
dragons are, and I was like, all right, both of these are used a lot.
That's so funny because you were like, there's mini games?
Yeah, I was like,
Where
what
are
mini games are
they?
under Fossil Island?
You never noticed them.
And I was like, maybe she's talking about the volcanic mining or whatever.
You sounded very confused, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
was so
like, I
confused.
guess he doesn't go down there.
No, well, either way, I don't. But
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah, that's pretty funny. I thought that was a good question.
Yeah, I really like that question actually, and I really like the Atlantis idea we came up with on our drive.
Yeah. As far as speaking of at the top of the podcast, I did mention I wanted to look at a few questions taken from the mod Q&A that they have every week. And so there's a few questions they asked that I thought was pretty interesting. The first one being from the live stream, what are your thoughts on doing an OSRS take on the mining and smithing rework? Currently, there are major problems in both, such as high-level rocks being pointless due to MLM and the level balance in smithing. So for anyone that doesn't know, essentially smithing is completely worthless, and so is mining.
You have to be 99 smithing to do a rune plate body.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, Mod Squid did respond by saying that this would be really cool. They think that a lot of people generally like the flavor of smithing and stuff like that. They know that the introduction of so many pieces of equipment over the years has really highlighted the gaps in the smithing system, which is quite the understatement. They'd personally really love to do a rework, but here comes the big but, is that it would be a huge undertaking, would be a lot of work, and on top of that, it potentially would have knock-on effects across the entire game, when not just smithing.
That is a
It'll
big
change the
but.
supply of items, the pacing, the economy. It's all going to be affected, and it's a lot of work to fill all of the gaps. Like I said, a huge undertaking. However, it would be a great opportunity to improve smithing and maybe introduce some mechanics and systems that are more interesting and build on that fantasy of being a blacksmith in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Even though it's a huge undertaking, like, do it.
yeah.
The
So
the range nerf last year was a huge undertaking.
true. But I mean, that did take them 4 years to actually come out with.
If it takes them 4 years, at least it'll be done eventually.
Yeah. Mod Kirby even joked and said that they'd be down as long as they did fletching at the same time. I tried to make steel
Yeah.
arrows in mainline RuneScape on my new account, and I couldn't because I don't have the level. I had the smithing level to make the tips, I just didn't have the actual levels to make the arrows, and it annoyed me to no end. So that's pretty funny. And Ash said that they'd be up for this huge challenge, and only if we do another skill with it.
Cool.
So it does seem like people are really up for the challenge, and it would be really cool. So either way, it does seem like a lot of the mods are up for it as always.
Might
but
be a long time coming.
yeah, if I had to guess, that means that we're not going to be seeing it for a really long time, potentially years. But it's nice to see that they do think that is obviously a issue that they do
Much
want.
needed change.
Yeah, they do want to change, so that's always nice to see.
Yeah.
There were quite a few questions asking about PvP, the arena system, and a
Mhm.
lot of stuff like that. And I thought this was a really good question to ask because it says, are there any plans to restrict polling on the PvP arena to accounts with a history of engaging in PvP content?
That should
Are
be a
you
thing.
Yeah. Are you worried this poll might run into the same spite voting issues of other PvP polls have had in the past? And Mod Ash just straight up said seems pretty likely to me. Plans have not been confirmed, but I think that's going to need to be addressed. And Modsarni even went on top of this and said they definitely think something like this is going to happen. They're going to have a larger conversation about it and then update you once we know. It might be something we can add to a version 2 of the blog. But as Ash said, we just undecided on how we're going to be moving forward in this. So this is obviously a problem because you don't want people like Michelle and I, which I think are fairly level-headed in this game, but we just don't play PvP.
Yeah. Like, that's why we're always saying, like, the loot keys are PvP work. We're like, we said, we think that this sounds good, but we don't actually know.
Yeah. So, like, we don't know the ins and outs of it. We know the basic mechanics of it and how most of it works, but obviously
we don't know what you guys want.
The difference between us and someone that's PvP'd for 13 or 15 years is kind of a big difference. So,
just a little.
Yeah, so I think this would be really appropriate on both sides. Like, I don't think they should have people that only PvP voting on bossing mechanics or bossing changes in general.
They should
and
just
vice
have the people
versa.
who are affected by it vote.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's unfortunate because obviously bossing gear is best in slot for PvP.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to...
Right, so maybe the questions like that everyone could answer.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to discern what is and isn't concerning certain players. But in stuff like this, for people that have never associated with the arena at all ever in the past before,
like me, I don't need to vote on it.
Yeah, or just not even the arena, but they have like next to 0 PKs and they're voting on the PvP arena. I mean, obviously, maybe that means they want to take part in the PvP arena now, but chances are they just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a really good
us.
one. Yeah. But honestly, those were just a couple of questions that I wanted to get out of the way that I thought were pretty cool from the small bits of the stream that I did watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you want to watch the whole thing, they do have a full video of it, and or you could just watch the VOD if you missed the stream over on Twitch from RuneScape. But I think that's going to be about it from us this week.
What are you going to be working on the next week?
Working on the next week, no promises, but I am hoping to get on my main and actually play some.
Hey.
And so that'll be pretty interesting. I'm not certain that I'm going to be playing a lot, but I want to play more than what I am now, which is practically none.
That makes me excited. So then if I do have you stream this week for me, you'll be playing on your main.
Oh, yeah, potentially.
You never play on your main.
Yeah. I mean, I was playing on I honestly kind of want to go back to my GIM too. So maybe I'll play both. I'm not sure.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I still definitely like my GIM, even though you like pretty much never play it. I'm pretty much just playing by myself.
I don't play because of leagues. We don't know if the
That's
other
why.
2 people are. I mean, Sandy Frisco, are you guys still playing?
Yeah,
we were logged in.
I mean, Darko, bro.
Darko. Oh my God, Darko.
I know.
Wait, what if Darko's on every day?
No, I would see them on.
Oh, are you still on your GIM?
No, on
leagues.
leagues. I would see them on.
You haven't been on leagues in a little bit either.
Okay, I mean, I haven't been on in like 2 weeks, but in the 2 weeks I was playing, they weren't on.
Yeah, we can't blame them. I mean, we've been the same.
Yeah, either way, I don't blame anyone, but either way, it's kind of funny how that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so maybe I'll get on my GIM. Unfortunately,
I'm certainly not giving up on any account.
I have to rebond it, but I might do that.
I had to rebond mine today and buy the bond winner prize, so I just went down 10 mil at the beginning of recording.
Yeah, so I needed to go make money and also bond my account, so maybe I'll do that.
Nice.
But besides that, just gonna keep doing that. Also keep playing RuneScape, or not RuneScape, Lost Ark, the other game.
You were gonna make a Lost Ark video.
Yeah,
you started that actually.
Yeah, so Lost Ark, still enjoying that a lot. It's still pretty fun. I have yet to get to the end game, but hopefully I will soon. I mean, the thing is that game has 3 years of content that I have to catch up on. So there's just a lot more to do preemptively than normal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because the game is already 2 to 3 years old in Korea.
Oh,
so that's
cool.
why there's so much content in the game.
Interesting.
Yeah, but just mostly that. What about you?
I'm gonna be working on Slayer, just doing the long Skatizo grind.
No Skatizo.
And then also like low-key hoping whenever I get Abyssal Demons, I'll get the 1 in 6,000 Abyssal head drop.
Okay. Yeah.
Because then I can get the helm.
Because you don't want to do the Abyssal Lord.
I'll do the boss once I get Skatizo done, which seems like once I get the Skatizo pet and claw, I'll stop messing around in Kourend.
Okay.
But for now, I'm gonna stay in Kourend.
Cool.
So yeah, the only helms I have left are purple, red, Twisted Helm, and the Hydra, I believe.
Nice. And you want to get them all?
Yeah, I'd like to get them all. The Hydra I can't even do.
Yeah,
I'm not 95. But I mean, the Twisted Helm I want to buy last. So while I'm doing Slayer, I'm not only doing Korean. Like sometimes I'll do other stuff just for the points because I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna need like 4,000 points eventually,
Yeah.
so might as well get a lot of points too.
Cool.
And so I could skip the really bad ones.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be working on that still. Maybe some Volcano too, but I've been enjoying Slayer again.
Nice.
I thought I'd take a longer break after I finished the achievement diaries. Remember how burnt out I was on it?
Yeah.
And now I'm back at it and I like it.
That's good.
I know. It's fun.
Yeah, cool. But that's going to be about it from us. Hopefully you all enjoyed the podcast this week. If you have any questions, anything you think we could or should talk about, let us know on any of our socials. You can find us over on Twitter at twitter.com/Bunebapeosrs. Join us live on Twitch almost every day of the week.
5 days a week.
Yeah, 5 days a week, which is going to be twitch.tv/Bunebape. And all of our YouTube stuff is going to be at Bunebape as well.
And our Instagram.
Instagram as well. So we do post funny memes and stuff like that. And if you want to get in contact us, you can hit us up over on Discord, which is going to be in the description of all of our YouTube videos. So it's pretty easy to get into.
Or type on any of the social media we mentioned.
Or any of the social media we mentioned. We usually get questions over there pretty often. Mm-hmm. So pretty easy. We also have a question section in our Discord. So however you want to get in touch with us.
Even exists. I think everyone does.
Yeah, you can easily get in touch with us and all of those means. And that's going to be about it.
Yeah, thank you all for listening.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you have a great week and we'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.